Hey traders, TG Watkins here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my worst trade and also my best trade. And I figure we can always learn something from our good stuff and our bad stuff. We can always be learning in the market because you know what? There's always something different being thrown at us, and we have to navigate this and learn, and every step of the way come up with something new that we have to figure out, but like what's happening in the market. So let's go back, do a little review since the market's kind of turning on us, and let's kind of look at some of the best and worst times that I've had in the recent history. So for the worst one, it was going to be BM&R. Now, if anybody who knows me and is a part of the Moxy room and has been with me for a while, you guys know I was talking about this one a lot. I still think someday crypto is going to come back and be pretty strong, but we all know that crypto is basically a risk-on asset, and it basically, you know, it's like with the small caps. When the environment is just right, these things flourish. You know, the Ethereum and Bitcoin and the digital asset treasuries that go with them. But when the market is not happy and risk is coming off and there are other things going on, these things are some of the first to come down. That was part of my first mistake, is that when the market, you know, when the crypto market, basically you could see Ethereum and Bitcoin, they were going up and then they started to break down. I didn't get out of this one particularly in enough time. And then I just kind of let a bad trade keep getting worse because I thought, oh, okay, well, at some point it's going to bottom and then I can trade my way out of it. And then I'll walk through this, but that was the other situation is, as you guys know, it continued to break down late January 2026. So let me kind of walk through this first, because the whole thing started from me basically ignoring even my own rules. We've all done this. You know, this isn't anything special to me. We've all done this, and we keep doing it sometimes. I think the better traders are the ones who can minimize the times that they violate their own rules, and I'm sure you guys can resonate with that. So the situation for me is, and if you look at BM&R on your own screens, there's actually a trend line right here that connects the higher lows for BM&R. It's actually really, really clean. And that trend line intersected right there. And I remember looking at this in hindsight and realizing like, oh yeah, that really was the spot. I kind of saw it at the moment, but yeah, I kind of didn't think it was going to do what it was going to do. And that was kind of the first thing of where I was just kind of not really taking seriously what it was that I was seeing, because we didn't know what, you never know what the future is going to hold with these things. So you don't know what the ramification is going to be. But what you can see is price came down below this trend line and then came up and got perfectly rejected by that trend line. And that was pretty much it. That was the death knell for BM&R in this case. The perfect rejection of that trend line right there, and then it sent it down. Now, if you weren't necessarily looking at the trend line or hadn't drawn your own trend line, what about the moving averages and what about the Moxy indicator? Well, it was there too. First of all, you can see here that I had the hourly 50 was below the hourly 200. Now, that in itself isn't necessarily the worst thing off, and not necessarily going to say that this is the end of the move. But it was also a violation of my own rules. We had price pop back up and get over the hourly 50, but notice that the Moxy indicator was below zero. That's what I call an inverse trampoline move. Basically, it's a short signal, or it's a you better get out of your long signal. And I did not. So that's what happened here, and you can see it just continued to go lower and lower. This was back when BM&R was trading $50 and $55, and now you guys know it's like what, 20 or something like that. I don't even know what the number is right now. And so that was pretty rough, and you could see that this continued to come down in a big way. Now, also on the daily chart, you could see here was the other issue, is in through here. Now, we have to ignore the Moxy indicator because this is such a new stock that might not have actually been working at that time, so we do have to ignore that. But on the daily chart, you can see that the 8 was below the 21. Again, that's a short-term bearish signal, and that price was also starting to lose the daily 50. Now, this had happened before, so that's why, okay, maybe I wasn't going to take too much stock into this on the daily chart. But the hourly chart I really should have paid attention to, especially with that trend line, especially the rejection of that trend line. Now, as you can see over here, I mentally overrode the exit signals. And that was the first thing. We need to have stop losses, and we need to have our exit signals, and we need to abide by our rules. The other thing is I didn't get out, even past a more than reasonable stop. Because let's just say, you know, we have a normal stop loss of 7%. Okay, well, that got met. Okay, so maybe you fudge it a little bit. And you're like, well, 15%. And then you really fudge it, and now you're going 20 or 30 or 35%. I didn't do any of that. I just let the thing go because I thought, well, it'll bounce eventually and I can trade my way out of it. And so that was also my other problem, is I really didn't have a stop on this. And even my mental stop, I guess I just kept fudging through it. And so that's the other thing, is that even if you set a large stop, you should really still set a stop, because otherwise a bad trade turns into a worse trade. And this is one of the ones that I let get away from me. So, and then just to kind of work about, say, the better things I did do with this. At some point, I think it was in January, maybe December, maybe December 2025, January 2026, something around there. There was a bounce, and I was able to make a pretty hefty trade with this because I was in the hole and I saw the bounce coming and I was pretty okay with it. So I was able to make 60%. And as I said, it was a hefty trade. So I was able to get back some of my stuff and kind of soften the dent. It was still a loss, but yeah, okay, I salvaged it a little bit. But then the other problem was, and I do feel decent about this one, is even though I was looking for crypto to move up in January because the market was kind of starting to move up, if you guys know, the crypto basically broke down again pretty much at the end of January 2026. And when that happened, the first moment that that thing broke down and started to break levels that I had, boom, I got out. And I was told the subscribers, and I said, I'm getting all out, everything. I'm out of my options, I'm out of my stock, I'm out of my leverage ETF, anything I have, I'm completely out. Just go to cash for anything crypto. And while that might have stung at the moment, I'm glad I did, because you can see that crypto clearly just melted down and it's still not looking very strong. And so at least, lesson learned. Next time it broke, boom, out. Not even going to mess with it this time. So that was my worst trade. Did a little bit better with it. And then also when it stopped working again, then I definitely got out of it. So then let's talk about my best trades. And I actually call this two things. So I call it my best trades because back when this was all happening, if you guys recognize this was the tariff tantrum. Actually, right here was the tariff tantrum in 2025. And the reason why I say that this was the best trades is because right here was the Moxy price trigger to the downside on the daily chart. Remember that inverse trampoline move I just said on BM&R on the hourly chart? Well, that's exactly what this was on the SPX daily. This was a inverse daily trampoline move, meaning that price was over the 50, the Moxy indicator was below zero. That is not a good setup. And even though the S&P made new all-time highs right there, that was basically it, ringing the bell, because it came down real hard after that. And what I did, went to cash. That was very important. That was my first good trade. Like, call that good trade. Of these two trades, that was the first good trade because I went to cash. And remember, cash is a position. We can get out of the market. Okay, we're not like some institution where we have to hang on to these things and hide and find money, or find safe places to go. We can just go to cash. And so I'm very happy that that's what I did. And I even instructed all the Moxy subscribers. I just said, I'm going to cash. Like, ask questions later. I'm going to cash. Something's going on and the market is not happy. So very, very happy that I pretty much avoided all of that. Now, the other thing that then I am happy about is I was able to identify the bottom. And we actually started putting trades on before Trump came out and said pause, which was incredible because who knew he was going to come out and say like that? But there were hints and there were clues. And I'll be talking about that in the next few weeks in some videos that I have coming up. And it's not here, but I did make a trade on SOXL. A lot of people know about this because it's a pretty big trade. But I put out that trade. This was the alert. The Moxy subscribers took it as well. And that trade turned out to be 2,060%. And that's how I turned $46,000 into $719,000 in 30 days, mostly based off of that trade. And of course, the market was just absolutely on fire. So that was a really, really big one. So I'm really super happy that I went to cash. And then you know what? That meant I was really ready to go for when the market finally came back, and I was prepared to take advantage of it. And I didn't lose my money because I was in cash. And so that was really great. The other thing that you guys will see here, a little note here, is I basically went to cash again because just like when crypto broke down at the end of January 2026, there were a lot of things that started to break down at the end of January. And I was getting flashbacks again of what we kind of see here, this inverse trampoline move on the SPX. We have that same signal happening right now. And so I had, at some point when these things started breaking down, I told the subscribers, I'm getting out. And I only had 2 positions left. So I basically went to cash. Those two positions actually worked out quite nicely. And then we now started shorting the market. So again, I'm very happy that one of the trades I took was a trade to go into cash, because that way you can protect yourself. Hey, even if the market decides to go back up again, it's better just to go to cash, protect yourself, and then you can like look around clearly and without stress, and then decide what to do. So twice in recent history have I needed to pretty much go in cash because of this market, and that is okay. All right. So hope you guys enjoy that. Remember to come over to simplertrading.com/Moxy if you guys want to find out more about what I do. And remember, we always have a $7 trial for 30 days. Just check out simplertrading.com. And hopefully see you guys in the room. And you know what? Cash is a position. So just feel like it's not a bad thing to be in cash. All right, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you at the next one.